Hey guys, so today I thought I'd show you how to use Sony Vegas if you're new to it. I thought it'd be a good idea to help some people out because I'm sure a lot of small YouTubers watch my channel, and Sony Vegas is a good step into making more professional looking content. Even if your content isn't that professional, really, it's kind of like having that polish on your video. So yeah, so the first thing you want to do is, I already have a clip in here, but the first thing you want to do after you open it is go and find your content wherever it is. I use Shadowplay, so it records most of my games for me and organizes them, and if it doesn't record the game, then it records my desktop, which is pretty much the same thing, but it's just nice to have that organization because it records the date and stuff too. So anyways, you take your content you want to edit, and then you drag and drop it in. You can also like alt tab it in, or you can use the Explorer. So now you can see it here. As you can see here, this is the video track, this is the audio track. So with audio and stuff, I like to edit my audio in Audacity and then just export the final copy into Sony Vegas because I think the audio effects are better and it's a lot easier to use, I think, but it's definitely up to you. So first thing you're going to want to learn is you can click basically anywhere and it'll take you there. If you click and drag, you'll basically start a loop, and if I was to hit play, it basically just play this on repeat. So it's like making a selection that just loops on repeat. So the next thing is learning the split key, which is probably the most useful thing that I learned in Sony Vegas, because you just find where you want to split some video out that you don't care about. So like say like I was playing through this, and you know right here I didn't want this part or something like that, so then I just hit S. I'll undo it so you can see it again. You can also right click and hit split, but as you can see, if you hover over it, you can see that it has a little S right there, which shows you the hotkey. So anyways, then you just keep going, and then say I want it to like end right here or something. Then you just hit S again, and you have this little separate clip, and you deleted it, and you've now cut it away. So these will basically snap together by themselves. If you just drag them towards each other, they'll snap together. But another cool thing you can do with Sony Vegas is that's really easy. Scrolling up and down will zoom in, and holding down Control and scrolling will basically, it should, I don't know why it isn't, okay, oh, it'll scroll through like if I had more than one video track, it'd scroll up and down, because Control usually goes up and down, and Shift usually controls like the horizontal axis. So if you just scroll without pressing anything else, then you're going to zoom in and out, respectively. And if you hold down Control, I'd be moving up and down if I had multiple video tracks that required vertical scrolling, but I don't. And if I hold down Shift, you can see and scroll, I'm scrolling vertically, or horizontally, sorry. So anyways, say you play this back right here, and if you look, it's pretty jumpy, like it kind of just snaps to it, which is okay in some scenarios, but in most scenarios, what you want to do is add some type of transition. So my favorite type of transition to use, purely for the fact that it's simple and isn't too distracting from the video, is the fade in and fade out transition. So you can do that by literally just clicking on the video or clicking on a video that's next to another video like this, and you just drag it, and you can see there's a little overlap thing there that says there's about 0.11 seconds that it spends fading between the two videos. And I mean, if you want it to be over the course of 2 minutes, then you could have it like really long. So you can see here it's a really, actually, sorry, that's 2 seconds, that's my fault. But yeah, it's a pretty slow fade, but usually I like to keep it around a second, maybe around like 0.2-ish seems to work pretty well. And you might notice the video playback is pretty laggy. I actually have a pretty decent computer. I have a 970 and an i5 4690K, so it's not my computer. Most people have problems with playing previews in Sony Vegas just because it's basically mashing up videos that might have effects on them, so it's basically rendering them second by second as you're trying to play back the preview. So if you want better performance, you can go up here where it might say draft or something, and you can change these to like half or full or auto. But I like just keeping mine at best because it gives me an accurate picture of what my video is going to look like. So I showed you the fade here. So you can see that looks a lot nicer than just having it like that because it just snaps. So anyways, the next thing I'm going to show you is you can also control the volume. So you might have noticed this is the volume slider. And if you double click, it'll set it back to 0, but I just had it set to all the way to the left just because because there's like other audio in the background and stuff too. You can also you might notice if you try and delete like the audio from a track, it'll delete the entire thing. So you can undo it with like Control Z, and you'll have to right click, hover over group, and then hit remove from or U, and that'll basically unlink it. So now you can delete it, and there's still video there, but there's no audio there that you have to worry about. So if I wanted that audio to be in there, this audio to be in there, I wouldn't have to make a new track. So it's nice. That's my cat. He's kind of annoying, so bear with me. But anyways, yeah, I know. You can't be in the video, cat. So anyways, next thing I'll show you are more advanced transitions. Some of my favorites to use are the 3D fly in, fly out, because it looks really cool. So I'll show you that one now on these two separate clips. So all you have to do is you can hover over to see a preview, and you just hold down left click and just drag and drop. And I'll do it again for you. You'll see when you hover over it, you'll see this little basically you want to hover over it and basically just try and get over that right arrow, and I mean, it doesn't really matter. You just want it to be so that it has that plus button like this, because if it has this, it's not going to do anything. But with this, you can see it adds a transition, and here you can change like the positions and the rotations and the light and what direction it's flying in and stuff like that. So anyways, if you hit play, you can see that instead of just fading in and out, it's actually flying in, which is really cool. So you can do that with pretty much every other transition. There's tons of them, so I recommend finding something you really like and using those. And another thing to look at would be media generator. So if you go to all, then you can see titles and text and legacy text. Basically, titles and text is like animated text, where you just drag and drop it in. Like with this, I'll drag and drop it, and you want to keep it on a separate video track, because otherwise it'll replace the video or like kind of merge with it, and that doesn't really work out that well. So with Sony Vegas, with their multiple tracks, you can see here there's different video tracks, and if you hold down and left click, you can move them up. So now you can see that this is brought to the foreground and it's covering this. But say you didn't want this to be covering it all the way, then you click this little button right here that has the little like cropping, and if you hold over it, it says event pan crop, so you click it, and then you can see right here, this is basically a big preview, and here you can basically pan and crop the image to make it as big or as small as you want. So the only weird part about this is you have to pull out, you have to like drag out, and I recommend you use the corners, because otherwise you'll have a really disproportionate video. Like that doesn't look as good as like this does. I mean, this locks to all the axes, so it makes sure it stays proportionate. So the only thing weird about this is you have to drag outwards to make it smaller, which I guess kind of makes sense, but it was weird for me at first. So you can see right here, if I drag this around, you can move this around, and if I was to go and hit play, you can see it's right there. So that's how you do like video and video with Sony Vegas. Say I wanted to move this a bit, like every once in a while. So also this is basically how to use keyframes. So basically what you do is, say I wanted to move the image right here. So like say this is in the way, so I want to move it. So you want to drag this up and make sure that the sync cursor is blue, because that'll sync your cursor to where you are with the timeline. Here you can actually just move it, and if you look now, it moves. I'll show you that again. I mean, look, usually it doesn't have that. Oh, it's I just edited a video, so the keyframes are a bit off, but I'll move this keyframe back so you can see it move faster. But I had the keyframe set to a different one, so it's kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how you do it. To shorten and lengthen a video, you go to the end, hold down, it says trim event end. You can loop it if you just keep dragging this down, or if it's text or something, you can I mean, if it's a video, you loop it, or if it's a picture, you just extend how long the picture stays on screen. So, say I want it to be like this short, but if you look, it's kind of laggy, but say I want that to be a lot slower. So what you do is, you hold down Control, and now you can see time stretch. So if I want that to be slower, I hold down on this and stretch it out, and you can see those little stretch marks there. So basically, this is just stretching out the time. So this is how you'd make a slower video. And it's lagging a bit still because it's a preview, but you can see the animation is going a lot slower. So if I wanted it to be even slower, I just drag it out even more, and now it's as slow as it can possibly be without changing the velocity and stuff like that. But that's pretty slow. So undo that, and so say I have this and I want this to be a lot faster. What you do is you hold down Control, and instead of stretching it out, you basically push it back. So now if I drag this down, you'll see it goes a lot faster. See, and I'll even drag it down a bit more for you just so you can see. So yeah, it's a lot faster. So anyways, that's most of the basic stuff. If you want to add like video effects, like say you wanted to make this look like a TV, then you do TV damage, and you can see here it's adding some TV damage. So most of this is honestly just playing with the sliders and seeing what they do, and seeing oh, you can enable ghosting too, which probably is probably pretty painful to watch. So yeah, it's pretty, looks like a TV, alright. I mean, yeah, so anyways, if you enable one of these and you're like, I don't really want that, you can let me actually remove the audio from this, because I'll put this over here now, so now you should be able to hear it. Okay, so that's all you actually, I'll have it like set to here so you can actually hear the fade out. So say that's all you wanted, you'd split it by pressing S and then click on this, press delete, and then you could drag in another one like this. Windows isn't being stupid, by dragging it in, setting it next to it, and you can see it'll build the peaks. And if you see here, I'll let you listen to a bit of it. I mean, it's actually not that bad, but for the most part you want to fade in between your audio tracks, because otherwise it'll sound choppy. So you fade in between them the same way you fade between video, and that's just by dragging it like this. So yeah, basically overlapping them is gonna kind of help them blend together and not seem as choppy. If you wanted to fade out this song directly instead of crossfading them together, then you go up here to this top right corner, and it'll say fade out offset, and you can drag it down and it'll show you a little arc, and it'll say that it says there it's gonna last like 8 seconds. So we'll listen to it. You can hear it faded out. So additionally, you can do the same thing with fading in. You can pretty much drag it as long as you want or as short as you want, honestly. It's all pretty much up to preference. So yeah, that's most audio and stuff. And the only other thing I can think of that I could show you guys is chroma keying, and I'll do that in my next video. Thank you guys for bearing with me lately because my internet is currently down right now. So it's been down for about 2 days now. I've honestly just only been able to use the internet at school, and it's frustrating because I have stuff that I'm ready to upload or pretty close to being ready to upload, and I can't upload it because my internet service provider is terrible. So thank you guys for bearing with me. It's not in my control, and I'm sorry if you guys were kind of disappointed, but I'm trying to get this out as soon as I can. So hopefully my internet will be up tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep and try and upload it tomorrow morning if I have time, but worst case scenario, it'll be out by tomorrow night. So yeah, this video. So I guess that doesn't make much sense. Why am I telling you guys if you're already watching it? Yeah, the next video I'll work on will be a Sony Vegas chroma keying video, which basically, if you know what a green screen is, basically that with any solid color, you can remove the color and make some really cool MLG effects and stuff. And I actually have like a custom MLG pack made up of stuff that I personally use in my videos and stuff. So hopefully you guys will like it, and it should be out pretty soon. Friday, I think, is when it'll be up. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm going by a new schedule because I'm going off of like YouTube's best times to upload. But I might try and upload it earlier, I don't know. Depends on how well my internet's working. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you need any help with Sony Vegas, let me know. I tried to show you pretty much everything I could without making it a really long-winded video. Because I showed you volume, separating tracks from each other, crossfading tracks, splitting tracks, trimming tracks, changing the speed. I showed you transitions, some video effects, and also text. So hopefully you guys like it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Be sure to leave a like if it helped you out, and as always, a comment or even a subscription would be awesome, because I mean, every person counts. So it'd be awesome. So thanks. Be sure to leave a like if it helped you. Share it with your friends if you think it could help them. And yeah, thank you. Peace.
Wish I could take this all the way back, and if you had a chance to, I bet that you would say that. Back to the playground, man, we would play that. When we found a girl, what we would do, I couldn't say that, but yeah, Saturdays was